if I stand, let me stand on the promise that you will pull me through. And if I can't, let me fall on the grace first brought me to you. Hey guys! Thanks for joining me again for another Pixie Talks review vlog. Pixie Talks, reviews and vlogs at Pixie Talks. Well guys, today's video is going to be a little bit more serious than usual. This is a movie that I've been waiting to see for a good long while now. It's a Christian indie film that tells the life story of one of my favorite music artists, Rich Mullins. Now I know I don't delve too much into my personal faith on this channel, but this video is going to be very God-heavy. However, I will warn you that this particular movie isn't really what you may think of when you think of Christian movies. If you are a Christian, I invite you to delve into this with me, and if you aren't, stick around too, because I hope to pique your interest with this video. In any event, I will be getting a tad more personal with you in this video than I have in the past, so let's dive right in, shall we? This is Ragamuffin.
The stars, it'll be like a candle out on Central Park. It won't break my heart.
Rich Mullins was a very influential Christian music artist in the 80s and 90s until his eventual death in 97. Now, I grew up listening to his work since my dad was a huge fan. And even to this day, his breathtaking music, which featured very raw, honest, and relatable lyrics, continues to inspire and grow me in my own faith. Apart from his music, he was known for his unabashed passion for God. And his interviews, if you have the chance to listen to them, feature some of the deepest insights into Christianity I have ever come across. But he also struggled and wrestled with God a lot, and that's a lot of where the heart of Rich Mullins comes in, and where this movie meets its audience. The film chronicles his life story from childhood through to his death. If I could describe this movie in a single word, it would be intimate. It doesn't try to put as good a face on Rich as it can, and in fact lays bare a lot of his own private struggles, and reveals a man who had a lot of issues. If you're looking for a clean, perfect, uplifting Christian film, this isn't it. This is a film that really digs deep into what it means to hurt, what it means to be lost, confused, and broken before God. Rich Mullins was a man of many struggles and facets. His brokenness is a central point of this film, ranging from his deeply damaged relationship with his father, his problem with alcoholism, and his struggles with money and success. He is a mess most of the time, and often doesn't even seem like the greatest guy to be around. And here's a slight spoiler, he's never actually fixed. Many Christian films rely on a feel-good formula where all of the problems disappear by the end. But Rich Mullins' life was messy through and through, and God still loved him and still held on to him and still used him. Now, this isn't a perfect film by any means, and from a critical standpoint, it has a few flaws that are a bit glaring. First of all, it's way too long and can feel like it's dragging at times. Secondly, not every character or every element of the plot is well woven into the narrative. There are a few things that are barely touched on or simply background decoration, and I would have liked to see them expand a bit more on certain aspects and characters. My next point, I'm not sure if it's a real issue or not, but the film presents Rich Mullins' life in an exceptionally dark light. For the purposes of a dramatic film, it works rather well, but I have a hard time believing that Rich's life was as bleak and grim as this film shows it to have been. I have no doubt that those struggles were genuine, but I feel like the film focused on them to the exclusion of any kind of joy or happiness in his life at all. But that was the message that the film was trying to drive home, that God is still there and is still God in the midst of all the chaos and the struggle and the heartaches of life. And that's very much what Rich's message, after all, was all about. That it's okay to be broken, that you aren't alone, and God accepts you in your brokenness. The acting can be a mixed bag. Most of the actors were great, a few were a bit lackluster, but Michael Koch as Rich was amazing. He captured beautifully Rich's mannerisms and even singing voice in a way that blew me away. More than that, he captured raw and unfettered emotion. Passion, conviction, and intensity were all there, written all over his face at all times. You could really feel that this was a man who wore his heart on his sleeve, for both good and ill. Most of all, where this movie succeeds is in its raw honesty. This is not a feel-good film. It doesn't mince words or even try to be as engaging as possible. It just sort of is. It shows us the story of a broken man who understood to his core that he was lost without God, and it dares you to find fault with it. This movie doesn't care if you enjoy it. And you might not enjoy it at all, but it will certainly leave an impact. The word Christianity has come to mean a lot of things to a lot of people, but I think if I had to choose a movie to use as an explanation to someone about what it is that I believe, it would be this one. Because it touches on the raw, intimate core of the simple truth of God's love. How relentless, how unchanging, and how not at all dependent on us it really is. If you have any interest in honest Christianity, this is it.
There's a whiteness in God's mercy I cannot find in my own. It keeps this fire burning to melt this heart of stone. Keeps me aching with the yearning, makes me glad to have been caught in the reckless raging fury that they call the love of.
And that's what I thought of Ragamuffin. It's an indie film, so it needs all the support that it can get, so I urge you to check it out. It is available on DVD at Walmart and as a digital download on iTunes. And I hope you enjoyed my review of it. Next week I'll get back to a little bit more lighthearted stuff. I'm hoping to be able to see Disney's new fantasy epic Maleficent this week, so please be sure to subscribe for more, and you can also add me on Facebook and Twitter. See you then.